Yes, but will my fritters have that boom boom pow? And welcome back to Cliffieland. This is Week in Country number 127 on our second attempt of cooking the food of every single country in the world. And tonight we're up to the nation of Niger. Niger, located in West Central Africa, is largely covered by the Sahara Desert and is bordered by Libya, Algeria, Mali, Burkina Faso, Benin, Nigeria, and Chad. And its food varies across its vast region, although most of the people are really concentrated in the southwest. Now, the dishes in the north are going to be a lot more like that of North Africa, and the south a lot more like its West African neighbors. A lot of dishes overlap between countries. You get a lot of things like seasonal vegetables and the specific use of particular spices. So this all factors into how things went when we tried things before. So let's see how things went when we did this last time. Well, 4 years ago on the Global Cooking Challenge, I had that same issue that I always find it difficult to find dishes from West French Central Africa. Same thing happened with Chad and a little bit with Mali. And I wound up deciding to do two dishes. The first one being a beef stew in date sauce that had some really delicious spices. I love that, although the recipe said to only cook it for about 40 minutes, so the beef was a little bit chewy. We're going to try to remedy that this time and also add a little bit of a different recipe that I found online to match up with that. And we served that with black-eyed pea fritters known as Cecena. Now, that gave me a lot of trouble in that I didn't realize that the black-eyed peas had to be peeled, and that took an insane amount of time, almost destroyed my blender, and somehow I managed to pull it off even though it did have the skins in them, and they were quite tasty. Now, we're going to try to fix that this time. Spoiler alert, it didn't really work on the peeling part this time, but you'll see that. But we're going to give a good go of it, so let's see what go into tonight's two dishes. First, for our beef stew in date sauce, we'll need about 1 pound of lean steak cut into bite-sized pieces, a quarter cup of canola oil, 6 fresh tomatoes diced, 2 medium onions diced, 2 medium green bell peppers diced, 4 garlic cloves minced, about 3.5 ounces of dried pitted dates diced, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, 2.5 cups of tomato sauce, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, half a teaspoon of ground cumin, a quarter teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of white pepper, and 1 to 2 green onions sliced for dressing. And then for our Cecena or black-eyed pea fritters, we'll need 4.1 ounces of black-eyed peas, 1 small onion minced, 1 egg, 2 cups of canola oil, salt, and 1 hot chili pepper finely chopped. In this case, we're using a serrano. I got a feeling this is going to work out. Let's get cooking.
In a large saucepan or Dutch oven, heat 2 tablespoons of oil over medium heat. Then add the meat and brown it on all sides. Reserve the meat on a plate. Then to the pot add the tomatoes, onions, green bell pepper, the remaining oil, and simmer the vegetables on a medium-low heat until very soft. Then add the garlic, salt, pepper, cumin, cinnamon, white pepper, the meat, tomato paste, tomato sauce, and the dates. Then cover and simmer on a low heat for 40 minutes or up to 4 hours for very tender meat. Stir occasionally, add water or beef stock if it starts to dry out. Rinse the beans. Place the beans in a large bowl and cover with lots of water, and allow the beans to soak for at least 2 hours. This is to loosen the skins, so you can skin them by hand. But we weren't able to get them all peeled in a reasonable time, so after about getting half of them peeled, I moved on to the next step. Then in batches, add the black-eyed peas to a food processor and grind into a nutty paste. Place the ground beans into a large bowl, beat the egg in a small bowl, then to the beans add the onions and the chili pepper. Blend and beat for 5 minutes. Add in the beaten egg. Beat the egg into the mixture. Add the salt and beat for another 5 minutes. Heat the oil in a wok and deep fry the mixture 1 tablespoon at a time until golden brown. Drain on paper towel-lined plates. Plate the servings of rice or couscous in stew bowls or on plates. Scoop servings of the stew on top. Dress with spring onions. Wipe down the plates. Plate the fritters. And serve with hot sauce alongside.
How did that go? Well, in a word, magnifique. That stew was delicious. Adding all that extra time into cooking it slow and low really paid off because the flavors are really rich. The beef was fall apart tender on the bed of couscous. It was super, super delicious. And I loved it. Came back for seconds, giving the beef stew in date sauce 5 out of 5 globes. A delicious, simple stew, easy to make. Try it yourself. Now, as for those black-eyed pea fritters, I did soak them for several hours. I thought the skins would fall apart. I tried any number of ways. I got the skins off, maybe about a third of them. Had to give up and blend them all. But still, they all came out really delicious. The bits of the serrano chili gave a nice bit of kick. I fried them nicely, and using that hot sauce on it really made it terrific. So I'm going to give the black-eyed pea fritters from Niger 4 out of 5 globes, a delicious dish. And I hope you enjoyed that. That does it for Niger. We're staying in Africa next time. We're coming back in 2 weeks. We're taking a week off. And we'll be doing a food of the most populous country in all of Africa, and the food of Nigeria. See you then. And remember, if you'd like to see our streams live when they happen, follow us on Periscope or Facebook Live. Like and subscribe to be advised when these videos are posted. If you have any thoughtful feelings or helpful suggestions about the food that we're cooking, sound off in the comments. Remember, links to the original recipes, remember these aren't my recipes, are found in the About section. And tune in next time. Thanks for watching and happy eating!